Hello. Eric just asked me 1 second ago, what are we going to talk about? And I just clicked start.
YOLO.
So I thought, Eric, we could talk about our upcoming events, maybe review last month's event, right? We had one at Sentry a few weeks ago. Was it last week? That was last week.
I think it was last week. Yeah.
Yeah, last Tuesday. Yeah, it feels longer
Mhm.
ago. And we could maybe talk about what we would imagine if we were ever to plan an All Things Web conference. Like, what does
Ooh,
that look like in your head?
okay.
And I have a to do in my to-do list, which is like talk about the vision of all things web, but I guess that's kind of the same topic. So yeah, last week we had an awesome event at Sentry with two awesome talks by Aidan Bay, who is behind React Scan and Million.js, and Cody the Arkland from Sentry. And yeah, do you remember the talks?
I do. The Aiden's was amazing.
Mhm.
It made me feel like the FOMO for real that I hadn't used React Scan before. Looked like a really nice tool. Super useful, and I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared to use it, to be honest. Just gonna
Just like
see.
what it will unveil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be like, oh, yeah. Probably should have cleaned this up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a bad
Yeah.
code. Yeah.
I liked how he introduced the talk was like React renders are obviously just part of how React works, right?
Yeah. It's function
So
calls.
re-renders are in itself nothing bad, but you can definitely screw up your React app if it's very complex and you
Mhm.
make changes and it can regress and you forget to update and use effect and then it unnecessarily re-renders so much that
Yeah.
it just becomes laggy, right? And then you have to debug this, and that's where React render not React render, React Scan comes in as a tool, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You just see all the renders,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like a simple like performance tool,
Yeah.
profiler inspector. Yeah, understands React specifically. One thing that I don't know if it was Aiden that was saying this or someone else I talked to, but just the word re-render,
hmm
that it shouldn't exist. That it should just be render, like it renders. Like
Yeah.
yeah. That the point
I like
is
that.
that that it's supposed to render. You want renders to occur.
I see. Like re-render sounds like it is unnecessary, and render
Yeah,
just means like, yeah, you have a state update, you want to display it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, that's fair. Also, it's hard to say re-render, at least for me. So I agree. I will just call it render from now on and act smart. It's like, yeah, no, I think re-render shouldn't exist. No, damn. If I say that, I still have to say the word re-render, just to say that I don't believe in re-render. No,
Yeah, I
okay,
don't
never
believe in re-renders. Yeah.
mind. Cool. And then Cody was talking, introducing some cool features of Sentry. His talk was called an anti-crash course, which I thought was fun. And yeah, he also talked about MCP servers. I think that was something new to you, right?
Yeah.
And how
Cool.
Sentry wants to integrate with coding agents, both to like provide some context for the agents, right? Like, hey, this is my dashboard. These are the errors. Analyze, but also a coding agent or like some kind of code gen is running and it logs what's happening behind the scenes in the agent inside Sentry, right? So you can like have some context around this. At least that's how I understood it.
Yeah. I think yeah, he demoed, so they have like some tools that are like where they have I don't know if they were the first to do this, but I remember like when I started using Sentry a few years ago, they had this like suspect commits, and they had like, oh, these are the kind of tools that were like a bit more um, than just like a regular error reporting tool. It was like, oh, connected to your source, like GitHub or GitLab or whatever, and we'll do the, I don't know if they're doing like bisect under the hood, or like how they're doing it, like maybe commits that occurred recently since the
Hmm.
error first started logging, and then in the nearby vicinity, something like this, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, and that was like, that's a helpful feature. And then they continue like more and more kind of down that road, and with LLMs, they're able to. I haven't actually used it, but I think it's been around in Sentry for about a year or something like that, where it'll give you like coding suggestions and things like that.
yes, that
Uh,
too. Yeah.
but then yeah, the thing that was like blew my mind was like, what if you have a stack trace inside of your LLM, like agent model, whatever, that's like as it's trying to
Do
reason
stuff.
about, yeah, you can see like the errors in the judgment of the model, which is really cool because otherwise it's just a black box. You ask ChatGPT, and then it gives you a response, and you don't know all the steps that went through and where
Yeah,
it went
it
wrong.
failed to query your website because I don't know, it was too long or whatever. And as the end node user, you wouldn't know that it actually wasn't able to retrieve the website and just made stuff up because it wasn't able to, right? Like, and that kind of stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I yeah, actually, I followed up with him afterwards. I haven't actually checked if he's responded yet, but I really want to see more of that. I think it's really cool.
You landed in his DMs. You're like, hi.
Yeah, the LinkedIn DMs. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to know about next month's event? Like this month's event?
yes, desperately. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be at Convex on oh, those are past events. It's like December 3rd. That sounds like it's too far away. March 19th. So 2 weeks from now. And we have an awesome speaker from Convex. I hope I pronounced his name correctly, Nipun. So he's going to talk about technical leadership in the world of AI coding agents.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun, and I will practice my talk about image optimization. So 2
Heck yeah.
talks. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
what was the last time we were at Convex? There's a speaker who had done like the AI like a year plus ago. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah,
AI Village or whatever was it?
Ian McCartney.
Hmm.
Yeah, you pointed that out. He is behind that project. I didn't even know. But yeah, Ian talked about local first stuff at the meetup.
Yeah.
But you mentioned he was the developer of like a COVID-related AI tool. So, or like a COVID has hit and we are all stuck at home AI tool, or like, but is it AI? Is it even AI?
It was one where it was like I think it's LLM powered, and it's like this it's like an RPG or something. It's like World of Agents or something like this, where it's like
AI Town?
AI Town, is that it?
Oh yeah, run an AI town locally powered by Llama 3. Can that be? It looks like a computer game. I think it's
Yeah.
maybe AI Town.
Yeah, this must be it.
Yeah,
AI
that's fun.
Town. Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah. Powered by Convex, it says now on AI Town.
Oh, sick. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's the URL now. It's convex.dev/AI-town. Sorry, yeah, we're gonna have to cancel this this episode of podcast. I'm gonna go on here now and just play.
You have to try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Anywho,
Cool. So that's the upcoming event. As I posted on Twitter and Discord, we also have an event on March 12th. So that's next week. That is next Wednesday. In a really cool venue for like 35 guests. We're almost as 35. I will probably overbook a little just to make sure that like we have a good crowd together. But yeah, that one is not public on Luma because we have so many limited space, and it's so hard to know who signs up on Luma if it's public, and even harder to make sure that the people know that they should show up, right? Like people just sign up for stuff, and then you don't really know who's behind that sign up and if they will attend. So I try to do a little bit more personal invites. I'm just playing around with a new hack evening concept. So the idea for that one is really chill venue, just a few hours of hanging out with an open bar and dinner. You just arrive after work, you bring your laptop, and you sit down. And if you want, you can just hack 3 hours on your project. But hopefully, the people there are cool and super intriguing to talk to. And maybe you want to show them what you're working on and get some cool feedback from some experienced developers, that kind of stuff. And we will end up we will wrap up with show and tell. So at the end, we will have a little opportunity for everybody to show what they're working on, either what they did right now or like in general, right? Like what's their open source project there? What do they do at work? That kind of stuff.
Mm.
And I really try to get a really cool crowd together. I feel like every time I invited someone, I texted you and it's like, person X, RSVP'd. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah, so that's the 2 upcoming events in March. And then, are you coming to Epic WebConf?
I am not this year. No.
Okay, well, too bad. Yeah, I'm going to Epic WebConf at the end of the months, and then we see us again in the beginning of April with an unannounced event, but we have one coming up on April 3rd.
You should probably announce it soon.
Yes, I'm still figuring out the speaker situation a little bit.
Okay.
I kind of at least want to have like one, like I kind of want to. It could be that we have 5 talks that are 10 minutes long, or it could be we have 2 talks. It could be like I kind of want to have like a theme, like some kind of like, what is this all about? Like it's going to be an AI and all things web event at the AWS Gen AI Loft, but I kind of want to understand, is it like lightning talks? Is it code gen tools? Yeah, so it's still kind of pending. Do you want to talk about MiniConf? We have been talking about doing a all things web conference for like since we started, basically.
Yeah.
But I think
the
this
end
year it's
goal was
actually
like,
this year it could be feasible in the like last quarter of the year, right?
yeah. I think it's like one day. Well, we were talking about like mini conf,
Mhm.
but like I don't know. Is that the same thing as like one day? I think like
Yeah. So MiniConf, I mean, a lot of people seem to have the same sentiment that organizing a really big conference is really hard to make sustainable these days, right? And sustainable just means you don't go into zero, right? Like, I think it's even harder to make it profitable, right? Like, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to not spend our own money on it, right? Like, just like even out. That would be what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
But that's really hard, especially if you're not established.
Yeah.
A lot of different reasons, right? Travel costs are very expensive. Like if you have a lot of speakers and you have to fly them all in, including hotels, right? Like that's just huge cost these days.
Especially in the Bay Area.
Yeah, especially in the Bay Area where we live.
Yeah.
And there's not as much budget from companies to fly their people around the world to attend conferences, right? And then you have to compete against a lot of other conferences, right? Especially in the web space. There's React Miami, Epic Web Conf, right? They are all just already like established. Everybody wants to go there because all the interesting people are there, right? So like competing against that is really tricky. Especially if companies say you can only go to one conference, right? Then it's really hard to say like, come to all things WebConf. We have not existed before, but it's going to be great. So that's the one thing. The other thing is that if you do it a little smaller and you place it nicely, you can still achieve a lot of the same things with a lot less effort. For instance, if you organize a conference in the same week as another interesting event in the Bay Area, GitHub Conf, Next.js Conf, right? You don't have to force people to convince them to arrive in the Bay Area because they're here anyways, right? And that's kind of like the idea of like a satellite event, and then if you want to like grow it a little bit from there, right? Then it kind of becomes a mini conf, right? Like a 1-day, very focused event. You either focus on attracting people who are already in the Bay Area because of another event, or just locals, right? And don't try too hard to get people, like obviously speakers, but like attendees from all over the country to fly to your conference. That's kind of, I think, where I see it. It's like a high quality meetup, right? Like it's kind of in the middle between a meetup and a conference. Like it's a meetup with a bigger budget where you try to attract speakers to get a bigger crowd, but in the end of the day, it's local people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Is that kind of what you were thinking too, or?
I mean, yeah. Like we talked about that a little bit, right? Like the timing wise.
Yeah.
And yeah, the GitHub Universe, Next.js, Conf.
Yeah, they're all in the same week. Or like, I'm not sure if it's true this year as well, but it was last year, right? Like when we did the
Yeah.
pre-Next.js meetup,
Yeah.
this was the Sentry meetup also in the same week? Yes, because they were here. Sentry, sorry, not Sentry.
Syntax.
Syntax. Yeah,
Yeah.
these guys.
Yeah. Back there.
It's like
Yeah.
it's right there. They were in town, right? So they organized the meetup, right? Like it's a week where everything is already all around tech. So like
Yeah.
organizing a very high quality meetup, being ambitious, calling it a mini conf, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the other two ideas that we haven't discussed it so much, but just like other two approaches could be like, okay, either during that time when all those speakers are in town for those conferences, or another time, but do it as like a mini conf for speakers.
Yeah, I
Where
remember
it's
you
just
said.
because
Yeah.
then it's a much smaller group. It's like 50 people or something, maybe
Yeah.
100, at most. But it's like there's just a small group of folks that are. I guess you probably end up going like a few hundred actually, but
Yeah.
just where like everybody's there in the same room, whether it's like you're all
Yeah.
sitting in a circle or it's like an auditorium or something. But like you're just kind of having that time together to talk through like what's going on in the industry, like together
Yeah.
with like-minded folks, or
Yeah.
um, or how do we fix conferences?
Guys, this is an intervention.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. One idea that I really like, but I'm not sure how like it goes into the same kind of directions, right? Like an open source conference where you invite
yeah.
um a lot of like open source maintainers and just
Mm,
like bring them in an environment where they could potentially come up with partnerships or like help each other or like collaborate, right? Like
mm,
um for like idea exchange discussions. You can like organize some workshops, some panels,
mm,
some discussion groups, whatever. But in the end
yeah.
of the day, like the more focused, I guess, the better, right? Like just like front end tooling or whatever.
Hmm.
That could be super cool. But I'm not sure how valuable that would be in the end of the day because they're also very a lot of maintainers are very strong opinionated people. Uh, so I'm not sure how like obviously people would have cool ideas and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's sick, and then everybody goes home and then just does their own thing again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I guess in the end of the day, that's what a high quality conference is anyways, right? Like you bring all the cool people together in an environment where they can connect. And then the end of the day, they have to figure out what to do with that anyways, because even if you do like what you just said, like all the speakers come together,
Yeah.
it would just be networking anyways, because like
Hmm.
even if you sit down for 3 hours, you can't do meaningful work, right? Like you can just explore things,
Mm.
and then in the end of the day, everybody does the work at home.
Hmm.
uh so I guess all what I'm trying to say is like all ideas we have are kind of the same. It's just like who's the target group is a little bit of the difference.
Okay, I'll throw you some
Okay.
curveballs.
Yeah, please,
All
please,
right.
please.
Other one is just like the lowest effort kind of
Yeah.
thing where we're not setting expectations of like conference or something,
Yeah.
and it's just like an all-day meetup or something.
Yeah. So that is exactly like, yeah, like mini conf is exactly that to me. It's like
Mm.
a meetup with a little bit of a budget that goes all day. Yeah. Where it's like maybe we actually have a dedicated camera team, right, to have like high quality recordings of the talks.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, we take care that the food is a given anyways. But maybe it's a little bit more than pizza, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and if you have some kind of like entry fee or something, I guess you could
Mm.
already pay for what I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Um, and then if you need to fly someone in, right, then you would need sponsorship. You need like you could do like dedicated sponsorship, like it's like, hey, company X, we would really like to have people Y and C here.
Mm.
Could you help with that, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Um, I get like that idea just came from what Kent is doing with Epic Web Conf, where he's trying to find like sponsors for specific speakers, which I
That's
think is a really cool idea. Yeah.
yeah. So then you just go in there with like your NASCAR jacket.
Yeah, everybody's like branded.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's like, yeah, I just walk around like in my Red Bull suit.
Yeah. Yeah. Just always chugging Red Bull the whole time. Yeah, I have to. Um, yeah.
Yeah. One person who thinks about this a lot is Henry Helvetica. You've
Hmm,
maybe met him at Epic or Remix Conf in the past. Or
yeah.
no, he was a speaker at one of our meetups like
Yep.
2 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, he thinks about how a lot about like conference, meetup, kind of like that. Like, what's the future of that? And I think like a lot of the things I'm saying right now is based on the conversations I had with him.
Hmm.
Where it's like high quality meetups could be where it's at in the future, right? And like that could be just iterating on the quality of our meetups, but it could
Hmm.
also mean like one flagship, like dedicated mini conf a year on top of like traditional meetups. Like somewhere like any of those ideas is probably a good idea, but yeah,
Hmm.
that's kind of like what I'm feeling.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I think, yeah, it'd be cool to have that kind of conference vibe back of like, because it's just like a fun thing to go to.
I love conferences, yeah, and like I'm so happy now that I have a job that enables me to go to conferences again because my previous employer had like zero conference budget. Like it was, I just the conference I went to in the past few years was out of my own budget.
Hmm.
Like I applied to speak, so like if I speak, that's amazing. Then I don't have to pay for the hotel and the flight, maybe, but the rest is still out of my own budget, right? And I
Yeah.
still went as an attendee just because I love conferences.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's just reality that more like companies don't really have a budget anymore.
I wonder, that's interesting. I wonder if that's like similar. I mean, for me, like I also, it's, if my company's not paying, I will still be like willing to pay out of pocket, you know? And I
I
wonder if
mean,
that's what we optimize for, is like
yeah,
making it
exactly.
really
That's
easy for people that really would want to go, and
yeah.
go on the other end of like sponsors are covering a lot more than before, maybe.
Yes, I agree. And part of this is just to focus on localized on local on the local community, right? Like we are
Mm.
blessed in the San Francisco Bay Area that we have a huge tech community here, right?
Yeah.
Like you can totally find, I don't know, 1,000 web developers just in the Bay Area without needing
Hmm.
to like convince people to fly in from New York, right?
Yeah.
Um, so if you just tap into these people and provide them an awesome community event,
Hmm.
uh, that is, I don't know, something affordable. The pricing really depends on what you have to pay for, right? But like, I would be like, if there would be a cool conference around the corner, and it's like, I don't know, $200, I would totally pay it if I get like food and the opportunity to see some good talks. Like,
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind that, especially because I don't have to pay for flight or hotel, right? So that's the only costs is the ticket. And if
Yeah.
that's affordable, then that's for me personally, that would always be a no-brainer if people are there that I like
Hmm.
or want to listen to or like talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. One other conference idea.
go for it.
Okay. Uh, just a mashup. Like, so, like there's the local, like the local focus is like one way to like
Yeah.
yeah, to specialize. There's also like, it could be a unique mashup of things, or like maybe not so unique. Like you could do like generative AI and web development, like that. You know,
Yeah.
like there's like easy ones like that, but that you could
Yeah.
do like something that's more specific. That it's like a niche.
Mhm.
That's like a specialized conference, I think. And then it's like
Yeah. Like
you get
image
people that are like
optimization
the what?
and like image optimization.
Image optimization and serverless Postgres. We'll call it the fluorescent conference. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
but
No,
because
I know
we're
what you
not.
mean. Like
Yeah.
the Reactathon a year ago was like that, I think.
Hmm.
It was sorry, a year ago. No, I God, I don't even want to know how
Was
many
it
years
two or
ago it
three?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the not the last one, the second to last one, but it was like one day of Reactathon,
Hmm.
and the second day was serverless in the park, but they shared a
Hmm.
ticket, um,
Hmm.
and then you had like different
Oh, that's
people there,
interesting.
right, from different communities. That was kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of what you mentioned, like what you mean, right? Like have like two communities come together for
Hmm.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly,
Meetup
AI
or
and web, getting AI and web people together would be amazing, right? Like that
Mhm.
would be such an interesting conference.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Now, how do we do it? We just ask ChatGPT, right? And it,
Yeah, no, we just asked ChatGPT to set it up.
yeah, it's just, that's what
Fix it,
Operator is
please.
for, right? You just
Say again?
make me a conference, make me a viral conference that will financially like net zero at least, like not net negative for the
after
conference organizer.
after the conference, you're like, ChatGPT, this really didn't work out. Like, we're in debt. What do we do? Oh, sorry for the confusion.
Just wait for the next model to come out.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. No, there's so much risk, so much liability
Yeah,
risk,
it's a
like
little tricky.
financially.
Yeah, that's why I would just go from what we know, which is organizing meetups,
Yeah,
and would just in baby steps try to scale this, right? It's like,
yeah,
okay, we need a bigger location. What's our, like, what options do we have? Okay,
yeah.
this is how much it costs. Let's find sponsors that would cover this. Great, we have the location. We, from just our meetup experience, we know that if we do it for free, X amount of people would show up. Okay, we are net neutral. Okay, next, let's find some speakers, right? Who is in the area because of things? Let's hit them all up and ask them if they are around,
Yeah.
or would they be interested to come? Okay, some of them maybe have like a speaking budget, right?
Mm,
Or like would ask for some money. Okay, cool. How much is this? Or they need to get flying, like need to have like a stay or whatever, need to stay long or whatever.
yeah.
Let's try to find sponsors for that and just like iterate. Like that's how I would approach it. Like to always make sure there's as less risk as possible, basically. And at any point in time, it's going to be a good time. Like we can find local speakers in the worst case, or like fill it up with. So there's always a way to like balance it out and still have a cool event.
Mm,
And it's either more on the 1 day meetup side, but the more we try and time invest, it could go more into mini conf, like on that
yeah.
spectrum, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I would probably plan it.
That makes sense. Yeah, yeah. It's just iterating,
Yeah.
iterating on through. Yeah.
Can we find one more speaker? Okay, we need one more sponsor for this. Okay, let's try to find one more, right? And then worst
Yeah.
case, it doesn't work out, but best case, we have one more speaker.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, there's so many amazing uh companies and speakers and just people here already that
Yeah,
are like part of the
exactly.
group. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So there's a good starting point to go
just
with.
get everyone from Sentry, from Vercel, from Convex, for all of these people, Mux, all
Yeah.
just,
Hang out together.
yeah, let's just hang out for the day, guys.
Yeah.
We'll show pictures of a tropical paradise, but we'll be in
In the background.
yeah, we'll be in a hotel
Yeah.
meeting room. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, man. All right.
Do
Next
you have to
week.
go or do you have more time?
I do. I do.
Okay. Wait. When I say da 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 or, you can't just say I do because I don't know which one. Do you have more time or do you have to go?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what do you?
I should go. I should
Okay.
go. Wait, do we have
Okay.
another topic?
No, we can talk about vision and mission next time.
Oh yeah. Can you do like a elevator pitch? What's the
What?
vision?
Elevator pitch?
Vision.
We want to elevate developers in the Bay Area. Is that a vision or a mission? I don't know.
Damn, dude, have
A
you been
vision.
practicing?
No, why?
You're just laying it out like that. That's
I
usually
know.
the part.
We have been organizing meetups for so long, right? Like,
Yeah.
why do we do this? We just want to. I mean, you can also say connect people, right? But like, in
So
the end of the day,
I roll on connect people.
yeah. But like, connect them
Yeah.
is like, what is the outcome, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then in the end of the day, we want to make sure that they all have like elevate, right? Like, we want to, yeah, elevate the community, elevate individual developers.
I like it. You know, there's
Wait, that was
another
that
thing.
easy? Usually you
Huh?
have like so much, you're really in a rush, right? Like, because usually when I say something like that, you'll have like 10 follow-up questions, and then in the end you say, I don't know. That was too easy.
That's how you can tell that I'm in a rush to go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, it's good. All right,
Yeah,
bye.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was nice chatting. See you soon.
Bye.